All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout with you as I always am. Sunday nights, 9 to 10 o'clock, playing your regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I want to wish everybody of the Christian faith a very happy Easter. To our friends of the Jewish faith celebrating Passover, happy Passover to you. I know it's a holy time of the year for a lot of folks out there, so we hope you're enjoying the celebrations in however you choose to do so. DC Taylor, good to see you, buddy. Happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter, Alan.
And our friend Bret Alexander is here.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Bret. Good to see you, too. Bret is here for a very cool reason. A couple weeks back, he released a record with Nyke Van Wyk called Live at HMAC and Mauch Opera House. So some of it was recorded in Harrisburg. Some of it was recorded in Jim Thorpe. Two great venues where I know you enjoy playing both venues. And these shows that you had done with Nyke were recorded, and now they are released. So we got a lot of questions to ask you about this project, because it kind of came, I know you, and, we talk a lot about music whenever we see each other, and this one kind of came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I saw you posting on Facebook, you were releasing a live record.
Yep.
Was it kind of something that you had these tracks recorded, and you guys gave them a listen and said, hey, maybe we should do something with this, put them out? Did you record them with the intent of releasing them, or how did it all come about, Bret?
Well, the intent wasn't to release them initially, but upon listening to them, we were like, well, a lot of this is really good. Nyke and I are always trying to, we play together a lot, but we're always trying to find ways to play together more, and I just listened to the stuff and I just said, a lot of this is really good. We should put it out. That was as deep of a reason as there was.
So the shows that you performed, they were just two of you solo performing, just the two of you on the bill originally. These weren't portions of other shows with Gentleman East or where you stepped up to the microphone and you just decided to do a song that way during a set with the band, or were they actual shows where you were the only two guys on the bill? Do you recall?
Yeah, well, the HMAC show was actually a show with a band from Harrisburg called Hot Wing Jones.
Okay.
And it was kind of their farewell show. That was their final show. And I had produced all their records.
Okay.
And they asked me to come down and play the show, and I knew they were having it recorded for the night, and then I ended up mixing those tracks for them, and in the process getting our tracks.
Oh, so you and Nyke opened that show?
Yeah, we opened the gig,
very cool.
So that's kind of inadvertently how we ended up with that portion of the record. The other half was in Mauch Opera House in Jim Thorpe, and that was for a podcast, actually. It was called a 40-story radio tower. That's sort of a Prairie Home Companion sort of podcast / variety show.
Okay.
And we would play in the breaks.
Okay.
And that was also recorded. And there was some good stuff in there as well. Joe Segan played on one of the tracks I released. He played on several at the live show, but only one that I released.
He was on the Fear of Falling?
Fear of Falling, yes.
I saw that on the credits. Well, the song that opens up the record, we'll open up the show with tonight.
Cool.
This song originally appeared on the Badleys' Love Is Rain album back in, I think it was 2009. And so you revisited here for this record and, put a little bit of a different touch on it. We're going to talk about that, too, throughout the show. But let's get some music on for you. This is Drive Back Home for the new record.
Took a ride up through the mountain to the edge of my hometown. Made me feel just like an angel looking down. All the places I remember, all the people still the same, all the things I've ran away from that remain. Babe, all my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? Oh, my life is like a drive back home. No, why? I swear I heard her singing as she cried, cried, cried. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. Oh, there ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. They say that nothing lasts forever. They say that all will be in vain. But I say that the struggle is the thunder. Love is rain, rain, rain. And there may not be forgiveness for all the things I've done, but I'm still my mother's child, my father's son, son, son. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. Oh, there ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. Thank you. A man without fear is a man without love, so they say. All he owns dear will be his undoing one day. I don't know, a blessing from a curse. I don't know, for better or for worse. Talking, no, never mind, what do they know? They got your words like vultures round carrying. I don't know, a compliment from a lie. tear us down again. Ain't nothing gonna tear us down. Ain't nothing gonna tear us down again. Down again. Down, 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 down. Oh. Man without fear is a man without love, so they say. And all he holds dear will be his undoing one day. I don't know the forest from the trees. I don't know just what you've done for me.
Unbreakable here on Music on the Menu on the River. That's Bret Alexander and Nyke Van Wyk from the brand new record, live at HMAC and Mauch Opera House. And before that, Drive Back Home, also from the new live record recorded by Bret and Nyke. We're hanging out with Bret here for the whole hour, playing songs from the record. Now, Bret, one of the things that I noticed about you even before you put this record out, and because you've been doing it at your live shows when you were still with the Badleys or when you play solo or Gentleman East, is you sometimes when you revisit songs that you had written and recorded years ago, whether it be something like Fear of Falling, which goes back 20 more years now, or Drive Back Home a couple of years ago, I noticed a lot of artists, my favorite artists, they tweak them a little bit. Maybe they rearrange them. I think most famously, I'm thinking of when Bruce Springsteen released Born to Run off the Amnesty record. I think it was 1988, about 13 years after Born to Run, and totally rearranged it and made it an acoustic song. And of course, Eric Clapton with Layla from the MTV Unplugged is another, milestone sort of moment for him where he did that. And you do it too. And I think you do it beautifully when you might change the inflection of some songs or tweak them a little bit. Do you enjoy kind of reclaiming your songs that you had written previously and maybe putting a little different spin on them? Is that fun?
Yeah, like sometimes you just fall into something, overplaying them a bunch of times, and you'll fall into some little groove that you're like, man, we should do it that way.
Yeah.
For a while, until you get bored of that, then you'll go on to another version. Like a lot of the songs that maybe somebody knows of ours, honestly, I haven't listened to the record in, 20 years.
Right.
Some of the songs that are older, I haven't put the record on, just listened to the song. So I'm certainly not checking it out, making sure that I'm staying true to the original.
Yeah.
So just kind of.
And you're probably not as married to them as the fan then.
Absolutely not. Yeah. It's bit me a couple times. There's been a few times that you rearrange something there, like, oh man, that's not cutting it. But most of the time, it's usually pretty well received. It should be alive, the song should be alive. They should grow. Sure.
Yeah, I loved what we're going to play Don't Let Me Hide here in this set. And, obviously you take it to a different place.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
And, maybe there's a little bit more of a sadness to it, whereas the other one, even though the lyrics are the same, a little more, anthematic. This one has a little more feel. I just think that's amazing when artists do that.
Did you ever see the Steve Jobs movie?
No, but you had spoken to me about how much you enjoyed it.
I liked it, but it was interesting because it was his daughter was always walking around with a Walkman on, and she was talking about she was listening to two different versions of the Joni Mitchell song, Both Sides Now, you know?
Right.
And she just said, oh, one of them sounds regretful, you know,
Yeah.
and the other one, it's the same song, but the other one sounds, you know, happy, but
Same song.
same tune, you know? It just depends where you are.
Well, the Born to Run from Springsteen is probably, I mean, you know, this first, oh, we're going to get out of here. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then the sad one is like, he's despondent, you know.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to play Don't Play Hide in this block, but also John the Revelator, you know, an old blues standard. What made you pick this one?
Another one, it's a staple.
Yeah.
It was like the first time the Badleys played it, it was really funny. We had never played it out loud. And the first time we played it was, I think, in the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut.
Wow.
We called it. So nobody had ever actually even rehearsed the song. So let's play this tonight. And then, you know, it's been a staple since then, you know,
Nice.
in my solo shows and,
Sure.
and, you know, in band
Yeah.
shows. And Gentleman East plays it too.
Let's spin it for people. Check it out.
Well, tell me who's that rider, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that rider, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that rider, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seals. Yeah. Well, God went down in the cool of the day, calling him by his name. He refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. He said, who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Yeah. Christ had 12 apostles, and 3 led away. They said, wait for me 1 hour while I go yonder and pray. He said, who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Well, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Yeah. Christ he rose at Easter morn. Mary and Martha were there to see us, and go tell my disciples to meet me in Galilee. He said, meet me in Galilee. He said, who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. Well, tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator. Tell me who's that riding? John the Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals. He wrote a book of the seven seals. He wrote a book of the seven seals. Pavement ain't so big no more. It's cut up on the basement floor. His worldly goods around his feet. Lost his mind trying to keep. The more you gain, the more you pray. Nobody comes to take it all away. But you're all there, and I'm down here. We're just the stairs between our fields. Walls made of foolish pride. Don't let me hide. 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 Once I walked a trouble road, crusading for ransom home. But in its soul, sovereign joy contains an initiation of fame. The more you build, the more you stay behind the tent once you have made. But you're all there, and I'm down here with just the stairs between us here, and walls we can see behind. Don't let me hide. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. The more you live, the more you're sure some things are worth losing for. But you're all there, and I'm now just the stairs between our fear and walls we can live inside. Don't let me hide, don't let me hide, don't let me hide. Don't let me hide, don't let me hide, don't let me hide. Don't let me hide, don't let me hide, don't let me hide. Don't let me hide, don't let me hide, don't let me hide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, don't let me hide. Don't let me hide. Don't let me
Don't Let Me Hide here on Music on the Menu on the River. And before that, John the Revelator, both tracks from the new live album from Bret Alexander and Nyke Van Wyk. We're playing the whole record for you here tonight on the show. Bret Alexander is hanging out with us. Bret, this came out in beginning of March, was it?
Yeah, right, mid-March.
Yeah, so we're about a couple weeks, but we try to get you in, but you're busy, and that's one of the things we wanted to talk about, too. I mean, you play a lot. We were talking about it off the air before, but you are a busy musician.
Yes.
How many shows per month do you think you're playing these days?
I did 260 last year.
260 shows last year.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, and that includes shows with the band and solo.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, a little bit of everything.
And Gentleman East is up. You left the Badleys now. I think it's almost 3.5 years ago.
Yep.
So it was a couple months after the Epiphones and Empty Rooms record came out. And Gentleman East was formed not long after that. From what I understand, that band is now working on new music. I think I saw some things on Facebook.
Yeah, we have about 5 tracks done. We were going to just do an EP. We're talking about maybe expanding it out.
Do an album?
Yeah.
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 And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, too, because I know that Paul Smith from the band, who you had Saturation Acres with for many years, and then you moved it up from Danville to DuPont, and it's pretty much been mostly you since then.
Yes.
But now Paul's kind of back in the production game as well with 8 days a week, but I see that you're working there, too. So I think, just to clarify for people that follow you and that know you as a producer and with Saturation Acres, I know we talked about it when I came out to see you play a couple weeks ago. You still have Saturation.
Yes.
That's still yours.
Yes.
And you're just doing some work with Paul. Explain how it all goes down.
Yeah, we're starting to do some production work together. You know, like and sometimes he's got a cool space down there, and it's pretty conducive for the projects that you do. that, for instance, that you want to record live. Mm-hmm. We're doing a bluegrass record right now that, you know, bluegrass things is going to be mainly of guys in a room playing together.
Right.
We're doing like a progressive instrumental record next weekend. And, you know, that's something that you usually don't break out all that much.
Right.
So, you know, he has a little bit bigger space than me, you know. So
you can set up like.
And plus, I like to work with Paul.
Yeah.
You know, but I still do work I still do lots of work by myself.
Let's talk a little bit about Saturation Acres after we play some more music. This one's from the new live record. This one's called That Train.
The traffic is all style, the locomotive that's passing through. I can see it's carrying something, but it ain't for me or you, because that train, oh, I'm here to tell you, that train, it don't stop here anymore. Well, my dream, she up and left me so many years ago. I ain't saying I'm still waiting, but these things, they die so slow, because that train, oh, I'm here to tell you, that train, yeah, I'm here to tell you, that train, it don't stop here anymore. Well, a dream is like a hobo that's holding up a sign, giving a ride, it steals your wallet. It's on down the line. The whistle is a blowing, I can hear the engineer. Seems everyone is going somewhere else but here, because that train, oh, I'm here to tell you, that train, yeah, I'm here to tell you, that train, it don't stop here anymore. And I'm gonna hitch a ride. If I ever pass this way again, I'll be waving from inside, because that train, oh, I'm here to tell you, that train, yeah, I'm here to tell you, that train, stop here anymore. He went a thieving across the countryside. If you were rich and greedy, he'd rob you till you cry. Some say he shot the sheriff, he shot the deputy too. He didn't protest wine or Sue. He was a vigilante for the golden rule. I wanna get me an El Camino and a bulldog I can train. I wanna hunt me down some robber barons and kick ass and take names. Ever since I was a young boy, that's what I wanted to do. Now being an investigator might be cool. I'd rather be a vigilante for the golden rule. King Solomon was a merry old soul with a big old belly loud. But if you didn't stop your bitching, you saw your kids in half. But some say that's just a legend, but I believe it's true. King Solomon wouldn't take no shit from you. He was a vigilante for the golden rule. I wanna get me an El Camino and a bulldog I can train. I wanna hunt me down some derelicts and kick ass and take names. Ever since I was a young boy, is what I wanted to do. Being the president might be cool. I'd rather be a vigilante for the golden rule. Jesus was a badass. He put the money changers to shame. Now if you got $20, you'll get a t-shirt with his name from some guy on the TV wearing $300 shoes. Mary and Joseph didn't raise no fool. He was a vigilante for the golden rule. I wanna get me an El Camino and a bulldog I can train. I wanna hunt me down some hypocrites and kick ass and take names. Ever since I was a young boy, that's what I wanted to do. Evangelist might be cool. I'd rather be a vigilante for the golden rule. I'd rather be a vigilante for the golden rule. I'd rather be a vigilante for the golden rule. Vigilante for the golden rule. Thank you very much. Once again, great to be here with Holly Jones. We're going to come up and play some more with them.
Vigilante for the Golden Roll here on Music on the Menu on the River. But before that, we heard That Train, both songs from the new Bret Alexander, Nyke Van Wyk live album, live at HMAC and the Mauch Opera House, recorded last year back in 2016, released about a month ago. Bret, you can get this record digitally, right?
Yes.
Is it digitally only?
Yeah, as of now, we're going to do some physical copies, but right now it's just on my webpage.
Bret Alexander.
Online.com.
BretAlexanderOnline.com. Now, we were talking a little bit about Saturation Acres before, and that's the studio that you've operated now for 18 years, is it? I don't know.
Yep.
99? Did you
99,
I
yes.
thought so. So, long
Easy
time.
to remember the conception date. It was 9/9/99.
Oh, yeah, right. I think you told me that once before. obviously, when I think back to Saturation Acres, I think back not only the records that you did there of your own, Gentleman East, and some of the great Badleys records, but also the Panacea records, the Breaking Benjamin records, the Kate records, the Jared Campbell records. So many of the songs that we play here on the show, some of them going back to 99, 2000, 2001. Robert Riley record we still play. And right up till, the stuff that we're getting now from people like Joe Segan and Eddie Apnell and currently, how much is the studio, because you play so much, 200 some shows a year, 260, how much is the studio still a part of your life?
Very much so.
Yeah?
Yeah. The studio business has changed for me from when we started, because it used to be a little more like when we had Saturation Acres and there were two of us. Maybe this is where we're going back to with now that I'm starting to do production with Paul, which I love. But, I definitely got more into the producing, kind of like working with songwriters with their material and building tracks, usually working with one person a lot, like a singer-songwriter type of person, then building a band around material.
Right.
And I kind of like fell into a lot of that kind of work, instead of getting into a situation where it's like, okay, a band's moving in for 3 weeks straight and we're going to record.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of maybe 10, 12, 15 projects going on at once in little dribs and drabs, as far as you might work on 6 of them in a week. But still probably put out 10 albums a year or so.
That's a lot of music. That's a lot of music. Your hand all over this NEPA music scene, man. I mean, it's so cool. Whenever we get a record from Saturation, we pretty much guarantee we're going to have some good stuff to put here on the show. So
cool.
We appreciate you sending this.
Thank you.
This is another one from the live record. Bruce Springsteen wrote this one. Bret's been singing this one with the Badleys in solo for a long time now. Atlantic City. Check it out.
Chicken man in Philly last night. Well, they blew up his house too. Down on the boardwalk, they're getting ready for the fight. Gonna see what them racket boys can do. Well, there's trouble busting in from out of state, and the DA can't get no relief. Gonna be a rumble out on the promenade. The gambling commission's hanging on by the skin of its teeth. Well, now everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Yeah. Job trying to put my money away, but I got debts that no honest man can pay. So I drew what I had from the Central Trust, and I bought us 2 tickets on that Cross City bus. Well, now everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Yeah. Well, now love may have died and love may be cold, but with you forever I'll stay. We're going out where the sands are turning to gold. Yeah, put on your stockings 'cause the night's getting cold. Well, now everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Well, I went looking for a job, but it's hard to find. Down here it's just winners and losers, and don't get caught on the wrong side of that line. And I'm tired of ending out on this losing end. Last night I met this guy, and I'm gonna do a little favor for him. Well, now everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, put your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. You meet me tonight in Atlantic City. You meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Last night I dreamt of flying over hillsides in the snow. I dove down through the clouds to the valley there below. As the fields turned into parking lots, my freedom turned to dread. The ground rose up to greet me. I jumped up out of bed. Well, you can fly, 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 walk to anywhere you choose. You can try, 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 but eventually you lose. It seems there's always something trying to bring a good man down. I have no fear of falling, but I hate it in the ground. Come on. Searching through my soul, trying to find some extra change. I thought that I knew everything till everything changed. Standing on an island and is sinking into the sea. All that I can do is just enjoy the scenery. Well, you can fly, 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 or to anywhere you choose. You can try, 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 but eventually you lose. The sailman in sweet soft music just before he drowned. I have no fear of falling, but I hate in the ground. I have no fear of falling, but I hate in the ground. You and I have politics as lines that we don't cross. We live happily ever after inside this little box. You just can't take a lot and throw them into a cage and expect them to be thankful for the shelter that you gave. Well, you can fly, 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 walk to anywhere you choose. You can try, 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 but eventually you lose. The more you try to cling to me, the less I'll stick around. I have no fear of and the ground. Oh, and the more you try to cling to me, the less I'll stick around. Oh, you get fine. You get fine. Oh, you get fine.
Fear of Falling here on Music on the Menu on the River. And before that, Atlantic City, 2 songs found on the brand new live album from Bret Alexander and Nyke Van Wyk called Live at HMAC and the Mauch Opera House, recorded both in Harrisburg and in beautiful town of Jim Thorpe. I remember when I saw you guys at Jim Thorpe when you were still at the Badleys Bread about 3 years ago. It was a crazy night. There was like a shooting on the street.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
I heard it. You know, I was walking.
You heard
down,
yeah.
I walk down the street and I hear gunfire and cops, and I'm literally hiding on someone's front porch for a while because it was Halloween time.
And it was like pre-show, and our wives were like in traffic behind it.
Yeah.
So we went and like running down the back streets to try to like retrieve them.
Nothing funny about it because
No, it was awful.
the man committed suicide, a police officer, if I recall, or some sort of
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
love triangle. It was in the news, so we're not talking about anything that isn't out there, but. It was just like this little hallmark town of Jim Thorpe, like a postcard, of beautiful. And it was October, so the most beautiful time of the year. And I remember saying to my friends, even when I leave Wilkes-Barre, I can't leave Wilkes-Barre.
Right.
Because you got shootings at, 7 o'clock at night in the middle of Main Street.
Yeah.
But it is a gorgeous venue, and so it's great that you got a recording there. I've seen you perform there before. That song we just played, Fear of Falling, obviously that was a national hit back in 95, 96 from the River Songs record.
Yep.
And it's probably one of those songs that I think every artist probably has a couple of songs, if they've had a career like yourself, that is somewhat of a signature song, and it's the one that maybe every time you play, we got to put this one in the set list. And you've retweaked it, like you said, a bunch of times over the years. I think I even have like a banjo version somewhere at one of the recordings you had given me at one point. How do you feel about having one of those songs? It's cool to have one of those songs, but is it a love-hate thing with that song, or is it a, wow, I'm grateful to have that song that connected with people? How do you feel about it?
I don't hate that one.
No.
I don't hate that one at all. I like that song. I like playing that song. Fortunately, it's one that was sort of popular. That it wasn't like I was in Warrant or something, and, and I made a bad mistake when I was 22, and I hate that persona that I was given, and now I got to live with it the rest of my life. Right. It was never the intention. So it came from an honest place, and it's worn well.
Yeah, every time you've rearranged it or retweaked it, I almost say like an artist reclaims a song a little bit. Like, I'm going to take it back and I'm going to do to it what I feel like doing to it now, but yet it's still yours. And I think fans appreciate that too,
Yeah.
What about writing? Because you had mentioned before that the Gentleman East record started off as an EP and now might be an album. So looking maybe 10, 11 songs instead of 5. What's inspiring you to write these days? This world we're living in is crazy.
I've been finding myself going down that path a little bit, some of those kind of things. I don't like to try to get too political with my writing, just because I think there's enough of that.
Yeah.
A little bit, though. I look at it more socially than politically.
Yeah. I remember the one time I interviewed you, I think it was when you released the Amazing Grace record. I know that's when it was, actually. Pretty good memory for these things for some reason. Mm-hmm. And you had said that your goal originally was to try to write a record in a day, because you had read an interview where someone had done that, Dylan or somebody, and you wanted to write an album worth of material in one day. And I'll remember,
Still haven't done it.
yeah, I remember having that conversation with you though a long time ago. Do you still have the ability to write though? I mean, obviously maybe you couldn't write 10 songs in a day, but to write more than one even?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I could write several in a day. I've tried that 2 or 3 times, and then I get up to about 5 or 6, and then I'm like,
Enough of that for the day. Call it a day.
I'm gonna follow it through.
Yeah, I mean,
One of these days.
I mean, just so prolific though, and so the inspiration is coming from the world we live in, and
Yeah, I mean, it used to. A lot of times, the A list lies under the B list, so a lot of it is just the process of punching the clock and just start writing songs, and a lot of them you'll discard. But once you get the pump sort of primed, then you'll start landing some winners.
Because I always wonder how that works. Nothing's coming to me, and then I've heard some people, some songwriters, no, I'm sitting down today, and I'm doing this today. I've got time to write a song. I got to write a song today. And I have some people that they just can't do that.
You know, like they say, you know, like amateurs wait for inspiration, the professional goes to work today. You know,
yeah, right.
That was a quote from a song, a project. A guy's lyric, Rick. Last week it was in my studio. That was a line from one of his songs, and I'm like, that sums it up, you know.
There you go.
So I mean, it's like you just kind of have to get to work and write some songs, and you're going to write some clunkers, and eventually you'll get it right.
Well, there's no clunkers on this new record, man.
Long conversation.
There's no clunkers on this new record. This is a great record. 9 tracks live. Make sure you get it on Bret's website. Give the website again, Bret. For the
Bret Alexander Online.
BretAlexanderOnline.com. You can download the whole thing there. This is a great song from that record that we actually had on one of the Concert for a Cause albums about 10 years ago, and it was kind of forgotten about. So it was nice to see that it's been revisited and, you know, given another spin. You know, congratulations on the record, Bret.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And we'll leave you with another one from the record. This one's called My List of Things. We'll catch you next week.
Ain't it funny when you're so sure of something beyond the shadow of a doubt? But you are on my list of things that I never figured out. And I sang you songs, and I told you secrets like I've never done before. Now they are on my list of things I don't talk about anymore. Okay, I'll agree. You got a piece of me, but I can't help but feeling that there's something here that's been left unresolved. One of these days when I stop running, look back on everywhere I've been. You are on my list of things that I'd like to see again, that I'd like to see again.